Welcome to r/Malicious Compliance, where we share stories of people conforming to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. Thank you, friends, for subscribing to the channel, and for so many likes. The first story: woman did not want to buy a product for a small price, and received another. The second story: my boss tells me to fold pizza boxes as a way to end an argument. The third story: my father didn't want to cooperate with the boss. On to the first story. Want me to find the exact same item? Okay. Backstory: I work in retail. A real joy, I know. And the store I work at is one of those discount stores where you can get name brands for less money. The items aren't used, but the way we get them, we're able. It's sell them for a few dollars less than the original retail price. Our system for making price tags in the store is pretty makeshift at times. If a customer comes up to the register with an item that's missing a tag, we basically just go onto the floor, find the same item, something similar, and just scan that tag and print a duplicate for the item being sold. It's not perfect, but our price range is pretty narrow, so even when we don't get the exact same item, it's within a $1 or $2 margin of error. Story: I was working the register one day, and this woman, who I'll call Karen because Karen, comes up to my register and drops her few items on the counter. I start ringing and get to the last item, which did not have a price tag. I told Karen that I would have to go into the floor and find the price. She said okay, but she had a lot of attitude in her tone, and in the way she was looking at me and standing. Whatever, I left the register and ran to the active section. The item in question was a box set of ankle weights. I should mention that this was during January, so even though the bulk of holiday madness was over, we were still busy, and people had been complaining about the lack of cashiers all day. Anyway, I didn't immediately see another box set of ankle weights to make the price from, but I did see a box set of handheld weights, so I grabbed those. They were $9.99. I came back, made the price sticker, slapped it on the ankle weights box, and returned to Karen. Okay, they'll be $9.99, I told her. She gave me the stink eye. And where did that price come from? She snapped. I explained our ticket-making process, and that I couldn't find another one of the same thing, but I found an item that was pretty close to what she was purchasing, and made the ticket from that. This was apparently not acceptable. So, you don't actually know if this is the right price? Why should I pay this price if it's not the right one? You need to find the same item and make the price from that, she informed me, talking to me like I was a total moron. Well, everything in the active section is pretty close in price range. It ranges from like $5.99 to around $14.99. And I did use weights. They just aren't the exact same ones. So this is probably the right place, or very close to it, I explained. I didn't want to waste even more time on the floor hunting for an item that we might not even have more of. We also sold weights a lot, and I knew that they're never less than $9.99 for a set, so even if I was mistaken with the price, it was in her favor. I don't care. Go back to the floor and find the exact same item. I don't have to pay a price that's listed for something else. I only have to pay for this exact item, she ordered, now raising her voice, and going from having a bad attitude to full-on jerk mode. Okay, fine. I left the register and returned to the active section, rolling my eyes till I could see my own brain. I spent 5 minutes, which is a long time when you have a line of angry customers, on the floor hunting for a flippin' pair of ankle weights. I was about to call a manager to ask what I should do, when lo and behold I found another pair of the exact same ankle weights, hidden behind a bunch of other junk. I could feel the light of the heavens shine down on me, and could hear the angels singing as I read the price tag. God had smiled upon me that glorious day. I was smiling like a supervillain all the way back, the ankle weights under my arm. I reprinted the price sticker that I gotten from her coveted exact same item and returned to Karen. You were right, $9.99 wasn't the correct price. She smiled smugly. The correct price is $16.99, I added. Her face fell. Wait, what? She was flabbergasted. Yeah, I guess these are a high-end brand that I didn't know about or something. Either way, I found the exact same item. I showed her the item I'd made the new price from. The exact same item is the one she wanted, and it's now $16.99. I informed her, doing everything possible not to look so satisfied that she yelled at me for having an attitude. Okay, I'll just take it for the $9.99 price you gave me earlier, she stated. I shook my head. Sorry, I can't do that now. My job is technically to do what you said, to find the exact same item. Since it's an imperfect system, the managers are gracious and we don't get in trouble if we mismark something by a few dollars. And since it was so busy, I just grabbed the first thing I saw, figuring it was close enough. But now that I know the correct price, I'm obligated to sell it at that price. I can't knowingly misprice an item for you. My tone was painfully professional and sweet. It was so fake, but if she called me out on it, I could just play dumb. The look on her face was worth every minute I'd spent rummaging through the active section. I had basically offered her a $7 discount before, but because she was so bent on only paying for the exact item that she was purchasing, she ended up paying more. We allow our rules to be a bit flexible so as to save time, and if she'd let me be flexible, then she would have saved that $7. But no, she demanded that I follow the letter of the law. She insisted that I only make the price off the exact same item, and she ended up spending almost twice as much as she would have on those weights. Well, you had it marked as $9.99 before, so you have to sell it to me for that price, she whined. I shook my head. No, actually, I'm not allowed to do that. It was never advertised by the store that the item was $9.99. The price came from a momentary error on my part, which I've now corrected. At this point, there's nothing I can do. The price is $16.99 and that's what we have to sell it for. She tried to fight it for a little while, but I just kept telling her no, and she wanted to leave. She grumbled and threw her money at me, complaining the entire time as I finished ringing her up. When I was done, she snatched her bag from me and huffed off. And just to add a cherry to the top of my already delicious cake, I said, "Have a great day," in an exaggerated customer service voice. Note, we get items from the warehouse with tickets already on them. We only have to make tags in the store if they've somehow been removed, hence the imperfect system. And because of that, we don't keep it a secret from the customers. Everyone who comes in knows that this is how we find prices for our items. So it's not like I was cheating her or lying to her. She knew the policy and knew what she was getting into when she bought that item up to the front counter. I'll also add that if this was an expensive item, I totally would have understood where she was coming from. When we're dealing with anything above like $20, we're very careful in finding the exact and correct price. This situation was just ridiculous because the item was so inexpensive, and I even explained to her that the price range from this department was very narrow. The next story is, you want me to fold boxes? Oh, I'll fold boxes. I used to be a delivery driver for a chain pizza restaurant. One of a driver's responsibilities is to fold pizza boxes. So I get back from a delivery and just sort of chill out until my next delivery. I'm not doing anything but sitting on my A. I usually fold boxes, but I think we had enough already folded to last the night. My store manager comes into the back room and catches me not really doing anything. We get into an argument about me slacking off. We get pretty heated. I'm totally in the wrong and I get that. But as a final FU to me, my store manager tells me to go fold boxes. You want me to fold boxes? Oh, I'll fold boxes. Outside of the restaurant, we have a metal storage container, like the ones that go on those container ships. We store all of our paper products there like paper plates, napkins, paper cups, and boxes. Our boxes come unfolded, shrink-wrapped in packs of 50. We just got our Thursday night shipment in, and my boss went ham on the ordering. We probably had like 20 packs each of large and medium-sized boxes. The day was Thursday, and my store manager had Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. He would come in on Monday night to do inventory, so I had a plan. He wants boxes, I'll give him boxes. So I get to work. After every delivery, I go straight to the shed and fold. I fold fast. Whenever the store needed boxes, I'd take a stack of folded boxes in and get right back. Other drivers would come to the storage container, but I tell them I got this. One of the other drivers asked why. Store manager told me to fold boxes, so I'm folding boxes. He took a peek in the back of the shed and it was half full of boxes, floor to ceiling stacked and no space between. He started laughing his A off. So Monday rolls around and after a weekend of straight folding pizza boxes, I'm nearing the end of my task. I have so many cardboard paper cuts, but I believe it's going to be worth it. Monday is slow, so I can really concentrate on my task. The storage container is completely full of pizza boxes stacked floor to ceiling. If you wanted to get in for anything, you'd have to start taking off pizza boxes out. So I moved my project inside the store. Any shelving with empty space got pizza boxes. Any empty flat surface got pizza boxes stacked to the ceiling. The shift manager thought it was hilarious, so he didn't stop me. All boxes were folded near the end of my shift, so I just sat on my A. Then I go home. While I'm chilling at home, I get a call from the store. It's the store manager. SM, did you fill the storage full of boxes? Me, yes I did. SM, why the heck did you do that? Me, you told me to fold boxes. SM, you a-hole, I have to inventory those. That fact did not occur to me until that moment. It's easy to count boxes when the majority of them are in unfolded stacks of 50. Corporate is very anal about the pizza box count in the store, because one box equals one pizza. They believe if one box is missing, that means someone probably stole a pizza. If a stack of boxes are missing, then there's a lot of internal theft in the store. So my store manager has to count every single box I folded, which was well over 1,000. You might think this would be easy because you take the count of one stack and multiply by how many stacks you think there are. Wrong. The storage shed has other things in there too, so I couldn't always do a floor-to-ceiling stack. Plus, large and medium boxes were folded. The boxes were stacked so tight together, you couldn't see past a row of stacks. You have to dig in to see what was there. When I saw my store manager next time, he said I don't have to fold boxes anymore for the rest of my career. One upside was that nobody had to fold boxes for almost 2 weeks. The drivers were thankful. And the last story is, you want me to work after you lay me off? This is not my story but my dad's, but we all get a kick out of it still. Back in about 2008, my dad was working for a network company. They provided the backbone for the internet/network for a lot of companies across the US. Well, one morning he was working and his boss's boss calls him into his office. Not a good sign for sure. Well, he gives the standard sorry but we're downsizing speech. He wasn't happy for sure, but things happen. So he signed the paperwork saying that he no longer works there, and he's not allowed to do any sort of work for them. Important later. So he and his now old boss go out to lunch as a goodbye. Boss even told him half joking that if he had known this was coming, he could have taken one of the brand new servers that they had dropped off at his desk a couple of days before. They both laughed. They said goodbye and went on their way. Well, I should tell you what my dad did there. He managed all their core routers across the US, so every bit of data across the network went through them, and he was the only one. So for his entire employment there, he'd always get paged with issues at 3 a.m. So he gets home and starts to relax. Well, about an hour later, he gets a call from his boss's boss. The convo went something like this. Big boss, hey D. Dad, hey BB, what do you need? Was a bit shorter than he normally would be, but hey, he just got canned. Big boss, well, we have a problem up here. Dad, oh yeah, what is it? Big boss, well, you see, no one here has the root master password for the routers, and we need you to give it to us. Dad, oh yeah, well, according to the paperwork I just signed, I'm not allowed to do any work for you, and that would be work. So, tell you what, hire me as a one-time consultant for $10,000, and I'll be more than happy to give it to you. Big boss, yeah, let me get back to you on that. Never heard from them again. For them to get the password, they would have to send out a tech to each router to hook up to it and reset the password. Can't do it remotely. He got a new job at MCI soon after for about 5 years, until he retired for good. He still laughs at them today. I guess they didn't want to go through all the hassle maybe? I think he would have given it to them in the long run, but since it was right after they let him go, he wasn't in a very cooperative mood at the time. I think he wanted to make them worry and regret what they did a bit beforehand. I hope you love these stories. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to know when the new video comes out.